There's been days Dominic Lovett has been really dominant out there. Kirby Smart on Dominic Lovett. We've talked a lot. We're recording right now. We talked a lot about the receivers here, but Dominic Lovett, you were pointing out, Ryan, Dean Legge, Ryan Curley. Dominic Lovett played in 14 games for the Dogs, 7 starts. He was the number 2 receiver behind Brock Bowers in terms of number of receptions, number of yards. I believe in terms of touchdowns with Marcus Rosemary-Jack-Saint, both of them at 4 behind Brock Bowers' 6. Dominic Lovett had an extremely productive season last season, and I'll just say this right now. It didn't even feel like it. What could this season be like for him?
Yeah, I mean, is he going to get 1,000 yards? Probably not, just because I think they're going to spread it around. But him being the leading receiver is definitely in the question. They can totally do that. He's a guy that they're going to have inside a lot in the slot. He's going to be where Ladd was a lot. You say 7 starts, he was a starter, right? And I'm not trying to be corny and talk about it the way that they do at Georgia sometimes with, we view all these guys as starters, but I would say he definitely was one of those guys that was part of, extended outside of a starting 11. I mean, he was out there all the time.
So I would say it would be this past season in terms of the receivers. It was Dominic Lovett. Well, let me go in order. It was Ladd. Some of these can't be right because it's saying Ladd McConkey started 1 game, and that might be true, but we'll just see. Ladd, Marcus Rosemary-Jack-Saint, Dylan Bell, Lovett, and Rara, to be honest with you, because they all started 7-ish games. Ladd McConkey did not, according to this information from the university itself. But they had essentially 5 guys they could really go with. Marcus is gone. Ladd is gone. The other guys are back. And I think that if Dominic Lovett is doing as well as Kirby's talking about, and Kirby, for the people who don't, I think most people watching this already know, Kirby doesn't just say stuff. I mean, he backtracked on it a little bit immediately after that. But he just said, I think Carson has gotten so, he said, I think Carson has gotten so much more confidence in him, talking about Lovett. They're on the same wavelength. There's been days Dominic has been really dominant out there. Now you've got to say, is that because Tyke Smith and Javon Bullard are not out there covering him, so he's making more plays, or is that Dom's more comfortable in the offense and he's winning at a higher rate? He's had a good spring. Are you losing weight because you ran, Ryan, or is it because you're not eating Twinkies? It's both, right?
It's the combination. Been doing too much of the latter, too many sweets. But look, he's not like this number 1 receiver that you look across and he's going to be this first round draft pick. And I don't know that they have any first round draft pick receiver really. They just don't. I don't think so, unless one of them has a year like that. But you look at him and he's been around the league for a long time and he's experienced, and it seems like he and Carson Beck have some trust there, right? I felt that early on in the year, and now I don't know if the numbers back it up or if I'm just like literally honing in on a handful of throws, but I thought that it was noticeable from the jump that he just was a seamless part of Georgia's offense. I didn't think that there were a lot of mistakes. I thought that they went to him early. They went to him big time against Missouri, his former team. That was, I think, his biggest day of the year. But he had, I want to say, around 100 yards 3 times. So it was definitely twice.
Up now, huh?
It was definitely twice. But a guy across the middle of the field, they don't have look, Ladd McConkey ended up, I think, just being a better football player than any of us really thought he was going to be.
That's
and made all sorts of really just jaw-dropping plays, especially this last year. It felt like, he didn't play as much this last year because of injuries. Yet the amount of just crazy impact plays that he had, it felt like it ticked up. And that's because his importance grew. Is he capable of making plays like that? Maybe not quite as good as Ladd McConkey, but he's a guy that's got speed in the middle, good hands in the middle of the field, someone that they trust there. Carson Beck, again, I don't have the full analytics. I just watch a lot of football. Carson Beck throws to the middle of the field better than probably any other quarterback in college football that's returning. So, and Dominic Lovett was one of his main guys there. Obviously, the other 2, not anymore with Bowers and Ladd McConkey, but you can see him turning into a security blanket which is what Bowers was.
Well, we're gonna. I mean, I think we've had this discussion sometime. There's no reason to revisit it necessarily, but would you rather have Lav McConkey or Brock Bowers? And I'm not so quick to pick Brock Bowers as good as he was, because Lad could do some stuff that was just, um, I don't know. And now both of them are gone, and they'll have to adjust. And there's no necessarily way you have to move forward. Um, it seems to me like this could be a very good offense. And if Lovett is out there really having look, there's nobody on Georgia's roster that's not good. This is a defense that gave up more than 23 points once last season. That was it. They're not, no one knew who Javon Bullard was either. Okay, so there's a Javon Bullard hanging out in this roster. I don't know who that person is necessarily, but Malachi Starks is still out there as well, and they've got both their, they've got some DBs coming back from this past year. They're okay in the secondary, and if he's doing pretty well, even though only 3 of 5 are coming back, that seems to me like okay, he's doing something. Now, what that means? Lav McConkey had the biggest game against Missouri, 7 for 95, and it may be that. That Lovett had a big game. I don't know, but he did not have he was not the leading receiver in that particular game. And when
check it. I think it was 6 for 91 and a touchdown.
I can't
going
easily
off the dome.
check it. I can't easily check it. So we'll keep it moving. But Squirrel White was Tennessee's leading. Why can't you have a name like that?
Squirrel White, would you have hired me?
He had 5 for 68 against the Jackets with a touchdown. So he was the leading receiver in that game. Dylan Bell, of course, against Florida State. The thing about it is, man, is that you just don't ever know who it's going to be. It could be Bowers one week. Of course, he's gone. But, you had like McConkey, Lovett against Vandy. He had 9 for 72, Ryan. That's a lot. And then...
I was wrong. I was wrong about I got the Dominic Lovett numbers up. I was definitely wrong about it a little bit, but
Bowers was showing up 3 games in a row. He was their leading receiver. Lovett against he had multiple games. He had 8 receptions against South Carolina for 56 yards. Ryan. That's
and that's my point. Is it felt like Carson trusted him from the jump and was going to him a lot. I mean, Ladd didn't have that many games where he had that many catches, right?
No, I mean he was their leading receiver in game 2, 3, and the other ones that I mentioned. So not half their games, but almost half their games. And Brock Bowers was the other one that was almost half. And then you had Ladd sprinkled in there and other guys, But if
I'm looking at the bandage.
All right, you want to know what happened with the bandage? All right, we'll be very brief here. So Easter, get home, start doing Easter lunch, and I got sick, and I fell over. We don't know actually. I must have passed out, and either I fell onto the bathroom floor, or when I was on the bathroom floor, I got a very serious cut. So I've had a tetanus shot and am on some sort of regimen to make sure it doesn't get infected. And I'm covering it so that it doesn't. It's not good, but
it'd be a lot cooler though. Right? Huh? You're definitely gonna get a scar.
I will get a scar. I don't know if I will be. I'm not sure if it will be James Bond villain scar. Like it might not be that great, but it's gonna be noticeable, I think. But you know what, man? I've never passed out before, so I couldn't say. But I woke up. I was on the floor in the bathroom, and I woke up, and I'd been drinking water with Kool-Aid in it. And I thought that the blood was the Kool-Aid. So I was like, golly, I threw up a lot of Kool-Aid, I had not thrown up. That was straight up blood. So that's why my head is covered. They don't give me helmets, man. I don't get helmets, Ryan.
You slipped in the bathroom?
No, I didn't slip. I didn't.
You literally don't remember, and no one saw it.
I do not remember. No. I was having some very serious problems. Alex got sick Friday night, and when he started projectile vomiting, someone's got to help him, and so that was me, and that's how I got it. I tried to cover my mouth and my nose, but I didn't have a mask ready, or I would have, and that would have helped some, at least knock it down. But it was not good. It was worse for him than it was for me. I'll say that, unfortunately. But
Being
anyway,
sick?
in terms
Or
of being sick, for
oh,
sure,
okay, in terms of being
he
sick.
was definitely more sick than I was. Today's Tuesday. That was Sunday. Yeah, we got. I mean, I'm in church. Everything's fine. Get home and ate. It was fine. And then I was like, man, I do not feel right at all. This is not good. So, I went to lay down, and eventually, we had some mishaps along the way. I won't include any more details. Thanks for watching.